guys, and welcome back to Miss Creative Queen. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so, and also click the bell so you get notified every time I upload, because I upload every Mondays and occasionally on Thursdays. So I previously did a video a couple weeks ago where I tried the 3-ingredient cake by Emma's Goodies, and that video is doing really well. You guys really loved it, so I decided to try another Emma's Goodies recipe. Today I'm trying her easy dish sponge cake, which is basically a illusion cake, and it's lemon flavored. So Emma made it lemon flavored, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing, but you can also make it vanilla flavored if you like that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what other recipes you would like me to try, and also share this with someone you think will enjoy it. Anyways, let's get started. So I have all my ingredients right here, and I'm just going to move them a little bit to the side so it's easier to see. Alright, the first thing she says to do is get some sugar and softened butter. So we need 1.5 cups plus 1 tablespoon of sugar. So I have my measuring cup here, and I'm going to measure this out. I feel like this is a lot of sugar. And now we need our tablespoon, right? Yes, 1 tablespoon. I have my laptop right beside me so I can follow the recipe. There we go. So she says to use 1 stick plus 1 tablespoon of butter, but I'm not exactly sure if our butter is in the same form as in the US. So I'm going to measure it out because she said it's the same as 135 grams. I have my measure right here. I'm going to put this bowl on it. So I'm just going to put in some butter. 1635. Oh, that's only 93 grams. Here's my dilemma. We have completely run out of butter. This was the last stick of butter. This is 93 grams. She says we need 135 grams. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a bit of sugar just to level it out. Since I have less butter, I'm going to use less of everything else. Just going to alter the recipe depending on the butter. So I took out some of the sugar, and now I'm going to pour the butter into my sugar. Next we need lemon zest. I actually don't have lemons, so I'm gonna go for limes and just hope it turns out fine. So I'm actually just gonna use a potato peeler for this. And it says for a zest of 2 lemons, but I'm altering my recipe a little bit. Alright, so this is what it looks like right now, and I'm going to start mixing it. I will say mixing this is a little tough because the butter isn't fully melted, so it's hard to combine it. So now my consistency is pretty much like Emma's. It's well combined. I'm going to start adding the eggs. So she says to add the eggs 1 at a time and then mix them. So this is what it's looking like after 1 egg. Time for the second egg. And she says to add 3 eggs, but I'm going to stick with 2 just because my butter was less. Now it's time to add the dry ingredients. So first we need a cup of all-purpose flour. Okay, I'm going to measure it out now. So I'm actually using a little less than a cup because of my last butter, but I'm just gonna pour that in. Next, we need half a teaspoon of baking powder. And then she says to also add the lemon juice. And we need 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm actually going to be squeezing out my juice myself. I juiced out 1 lime and I'm going to see how much it is. And I'm also going to use 1.5 tablespoons of my lime juice just because I had less butter. So this is exactly 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to need another half of the lime. We got our lime done and now I'm going to mix it. This is what it's currently looking like. So it's well combined now, and I'm going to pour out 1/3 into another bowl because I'm going to try making the illusion like she did. I'm just going to eyeball it and see how much 1/3 is. You could even weigh it out. She actually gives the measurements and I'll pop them up on screen. Now it's time for the fun part, the food coloring. So I have my yellow food coloring and I'm gonna pop a few drops. I'm using 3 drops right now. So I added a few more drops of yellow and this is how it's looking. Now I'm going to add the green food coloring. So it's looking pretty light still, so I'm going to add it more. I know Emma used a little bit of brown food coloring to make it a little darker, but I don't have brown food coloring, so I'm just going to build it with this one. So this is the end result I have. It will probably get darker when we bake it, so we'll see how it goes. My oven is set to 320 degrees for preheating. I've lined my pan with parchment paper. I'm not exactly sure what size pan this is. I'm just gonna hope it's an 8-inch pan and go with the flow. So I'm going to add in my yellow batter first. So it's actually smelling really good already. And I'm going to go ahead and put this one in the oven first, and then I'm going to do the green one because I only have 1 pan. So I actually didn't measure out 1/3 properly. So I have less yellow and a little more green, where it's supposed to be less green and a little more yellow, but I don't think it really matters because we're going to layer it anyways, and it's okay if one of them is thicker. Even though the green is usually really thin on sponges, I'm just going to go with the flow. In the end, it's the taste that matters, and they're going to taste the same. So since my yellow is less, I'm going to bake it for 10 to 12 minutes, and then the green is going to bake for an additional 5 minutes. So I have my 2 cakes out of the oven. The yellow one took about 15 to 17 minutes to cook, and then the green one took about 22 minutes to cook. I actually let it in the oven for an extra minute, and the top sort of burned, but I did slice it off and it was fine. And you're supposed to actually use your knife to sort of make sponge texture, so it actually turned out fine. So we have the correct texture. Okay, so now I have to put the green onto the yellow, and she says to use just the tiniest bit of jam, and you actually can't taste it, so that's fine. into its pieces now. And I think it'll make about 4 pieces, maybe. So now I'm going to make the sort of soap on the top, and basically that's the under whipped meringue. So I'll show you guys exactly how I do that. So I have my egg white right here, and now I'm gonna get 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then just half a teaspoon of lemon juice. So now I have my ingredients, and I'm just gonna mix them. So I have my meringue here, my under whip, and basically all I have to do is just use the top foam part and put it onto it. Now it's time for the taste test. It's actually pretty good. So I actually think the cake turned out pretty good. The taste wasn't bad at all. I actually liked it, and I actually finished my slice. And then my sister tried it. She thought it was a little sour. My dad also tried it, and he actually really liked the cake. So overall, I think I would give it, the whole process and the cake and everything, an 8 out of 10. Would I make this cake again? Not so fast, but probably after a while when I feel like eating it again. Is it my favorite cake? No. I obviously have my favorite preferences of cake, and this isn't one of them. I think if I tried again, I could probably get it better, because I did have a bunch of hiccups on the way, and I think next time I know how to improve it, and I could definitely make it even better than I did this time. But it still turned out pretty well. Yeah, it didn't look exactly like a dish sponge, unlike Emma's, which actually looked exactly like the dish sponge. My color didn't turn out exactly, but it was still fine. And it looks sort of like a dish sponge, but not exactly. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and share this video with someone who you think will enjoy it as well. Make sure to comment down below what other recipes you would like me to try, whether it's from Emma's Goodies or from someone else. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!